Episode 15. Nana Comes to America. It had been 3 years since I left the comfortable, familiar country life of rural England for the US. From a child's perspective, it hadn't been all I expected. I was 7 now, and I still missed my grandmother, Nana, along with my auntie's granddad and the rest of our family back in the UK. Life there had been safe and predictable. I knew without question that I was loved. Hugs and kisses were given unconditionally. If I'd been naughty, I could still be forgiven and loved again, after a stern talking to. That's how I learned from my mistakes. My character was being shaped in those early years. I respected my elders. Kindness was something you showed others, expecting nothing in return. There was a goodness in me back then, an inherent decency no child should ever lose. Nana was always smiling. She cooked, did chores, read to me, and took me on long walks down narrow paths through the woods and fragrant fields of bluebells. She taught me the names of plants. She showed me Celtic ruins from centuries past. Our family's ancestry traced back to ancient times. We were warriors, she liked to remind me. England had lived through its own version of cowboys and Indians, long before America ever existed. My mother was still in a psychiatric hospital for much of that time, recovering from the severe postpartum depression that had hospitalized her for nearly 2 years after my brother was born. My father was stationed back in the States. What would my life have looked like without these loving relatives while my parents were gone? When it finally came time to leave for good, I felt both elated and sad at once. For children, time and distance are elusive things. If I didn't like it in America, surely I could just hop back across the pond and reconnect with the people who truly cared about me. Once we landed in the US, it seemed like we never stopped moving. Military bases, apartments, cities, one after another. That constant motion became the only normal I knew. A family of 4 could be packed into a car with everything we owned and on the road in under an hour. Sometimes we didn't even bother unpacking boxes, knowing we'd likely be moving again soon. Those long drives meant hours of country western music only my father seemed to enjoy. Eventually, once we settled into a rental house, life offered a little more stability and a little less uncertainty. Mum filled the house with plants and flowers in pots, the way she had back in England, something she hadn't been able to do during all those years on the move. She even sewed her own bright, colourful curtains for the windows. Slowly, a house was becoming a home. Dad, meanwhile, grew more absent by choice. He was stationed at a base, yes, but other service members made the effort to get home to their families whenever they could. My father didn't. Around that time, Mum started a new job as a secretary. She'd studied hard to earn her American citizenship just to be allowed to work. Childcare was expensive and money was tight. I don't know if Mum reached out and asked Nana to come help raise her 2 boys, or if Nana, sensing the trouble we were in, simply decided to come on her own. Even then, flying from Europe to the United States wasn't cheap. I was overjoyed to have Nana back in my life. Her arrival reminded me all over again of everything I'd been missing since we left England. We all cried with joy, though I think Mom cried hardest of all, mourning a marriage that had never lived up to anyone's hopes. My father didn't care, not really, about raising a family. If he had, he would have made the effort to be part of ours. Having Nana with us brought near-instant stability to our fractured little household. We could smile and laugh again. She and I picked up our old pattern of long walks together, and it felt wonderful. Even Dad seemed like a different person when she was around, visibly deferential to his mother-in-law in a way he never was to anyone else. I've often wondered if the 2 of them had some kind of come-to-Jesus conversation while she was there. Nana's presence solved Mum's childcare crisis. I don't remember exactly how long she stayed, but it was long enough for Mum to save up and afford a babysitter for when I got home from school. My brother wasn't old enough for that yet, so he stayed home with her. Eventually, the time came for Nana to return to England. Her leaving was gut-wrenching. I wish I'd had the words back then, and the authority, to declare that the American experiment had failed, and that I should be on that same plane home with her. I know deep in my heart that I likely would never have picked up my father's addictive habits and behaviors if I'd been separated from him at that early stage of my life.